Anna, we're so excited to welcome you to Equal IT's Shining the Spotlight series, where we shine the spotlight on incredible initiatives that are working to drive positive change in the STEM sphere.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Ellie.
As the founder of BrainFruits, could you start by sharing a little bit more on what the mission and goals are?
Yes, I was really excited, Ellie, when you invited me for the podcast because I love nothing more than talking about BrainFruits, of course. Our mission is to unleash the empowering potential of tech and data-driven solutions while also fostering diversity and inclusion. We're really dedicated to provide a comprehensive initiative, a comprehensive program that enables individuals and organizations to adapt, innovate, and succeed in this rapidly evolving digital landscape. Our focus here is on empowering women in tech, driving positive change, and creating a more inclusive and ethical AI ecosystem. So you can already hear that our offerings are really about storytelling, transformative mentorship, and specialized consultancy services in AI innovation and risk management. We have the mission to empower individuals, especially women, to amplify their diverse voices and make a meaningful impact in the digital world.
Some really important layers that you're peeling back on your mission and what you're doing. And what inspired you to launch BrainFruits?
BrainFruits was really born out of a personal journey into the tech industry. It's really, I think, like a manifest of who I am and what I had to I don't want to say go through, but what I encountered on my entire journey to now be a woman in STEM working in a fintech company in Pleo. Along the way, journeying into tech as a woman is not that easy. I don't want to victimize. I want to make that very, very clear because I see a lot of I feel I observe a lot of trends sometimes towards victimization, which I'm absolutely against. But I think it's really important that we role model, that we show resilience and determination, but also vulnerability. This comes very much through the power of great mentors. This is really what inspired me to launch BrainFruits. I have for myself seen the great impact, the accelerating effect of having great mentors along my journey. Otherwise, I would not be where I am. And this is something I wanted to give back to the community. When I arrived in Denmark, especially, I did not really have a secure job or any financial savings. I faced a challenge of starting a career, and I wanted to solve very complex problems in Denmark because I just loved working in Scandinavia. I came for a research project before and made up my mind. I'm really coming back to Denmark. I want to work in the tech sector and I want to work on interesting problems. So with that, as you know, COVID hit, of course. No jobs, little opportunities, no networking. It was very difficult to get a foot into the door. So I even had to temporarily live in a trailer due to financial constraints. I had offers from the UK, from London, to go over there and work in consulting for companies like Gartner. I decided that no, I really made up my mind that I want to start my tech journey in Denmark because it's such a great space for innovation. I loved staying there before, and the fintech space, especially in Denmark, is incredibly big. There's so much potential. It's one of these countries that have been very early adopters for cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of fresh new blockchain companies already since a couple of years. So I knew I wanted to be here. I wanted to work on topics that would shape the future and help organizations stay competitive through sustainable principles and new technologies. So that was kind of my rough idea about getting a job. But as I said, it was the COVID-19 pandemic. So I had to kind of remain committed to pursuing my own way of getting into the fintech field. Why the fintech field? Because I know of the influence of finance and decision-making power it really holds. I've studied finance myself in my master program. I had a big focus on that, aside from some statistics and data science. And I really firmly believe that we need more women in these fields to combat bias, promote diversity, and shift the industry towards a more inclusive and equitable culture. So as I embarked on my journey, I took my first job with Danske Bank. And there then I took the time and the side to foster my coding skills. So I learned Python, etc., machine learning for 1.5 years, aside from my job, getting up every morning earlier at 7 a.m. to do a 2-hour course, and looked for a transition into the fintech industry. This opportunity came again through network, through mentors. So I was able to join Pleo in 2021. So I made this leap into the fintech world after a year with a big major bank. It didn't come like evidently. So it was really thanks to network, thanks to skills being built, and thanks to being out there. Now in Pleo, I work as a fraud prevention lead and are currently helping to establish our first AI lab to drive operational efficiencies 10x and ensure ethical AI implementation. And I think this journey can already kind of tell you why, for me, giving back on networking, skill development, and mentorship is just absolutely vital. It really inspired me to create BrainFruits during COVID as well. Because I had a bit of the time there and also was still in this really tough journey of, I knew what I wanted, but all the odds were kind of against me. I had these opportunities in the UK, but it was my aspiration and my desire to really start my journey in Scandinavia. So this is something that I wanted to give back and really inspired me to create this initiative. And it's really a platform to share stories of women in STEM that use technology for good and establish this mentorship program that we now tested this year successfully, I must say, with 12 mentors and 12 mentees in the STEM field. They described it themselves as transformative, and we've now been also nominated for the Nordic Women in Tech Awards. So I'm super, super pleased, super happy, super proud as well to have launched this initiative.
That's a really, really inspiring journey that you've been on. And you mentioned that BrainFruits has a nomination for the absolute powerhouse initiative that is Nordic Women in Tech Awards. Congratulations. We absolutely love what they do at Nordic Women in Tech Awards and wish you all the best of luck with the awards in November. And I believe it's being hosted in Iceland. So fingers crossed, Hannah, for BrainFruits there. You mentioned the mentoring program and some of the stories around that. What other programs do you offer at BrainFruits?
So our first program, as I said, is the mentorship program. This is really targeted for women in STEM. What we do here is over the course of 6 weeks, we pair you up with your individual mentor. You get one-to-one sessions over 1 hour once a week. Plus, we offer a so-called forward session once every Saturday over the course of this program, where we invite speakers as like you have been on there, about career development, about confidence finding, but also about opportunities to use AI and coding in your day-to-day business life. The sessions really vary a little bit according to who is in our mentorship program. So that's the first stack that we offer. The other stack is the podcast, where we tell stories from women that personally I find very, very inspirational, that are in the tech space, but that don't just use it only for commercial purposes, but also to bring real change about in society. So that's always been the focus. And then the third part that we're launching is a consultancy services to help companies on their AI journey.
Can you share some examples or success stories as well of the positive impact that your programs have had on individuals?
Certainly. I always love to talk about Cleotna Kirk. She's an IT lead at Greenpeace International. When we first got her application, I knew immediately that she would be a great mentee. We paired her up with Alpana, who's based in India and a research scientist. She works on very intriguing things like intelligence mining, applied research on deep reinforcement learning. So she's all about machine learning recommender systems. And Cleotna was looking for someone that can help her on her coding journey, but more so also on her journey to get a better understanding of data structure and the effects of data warehouses on the environment. And it was, it made me so happy when after the mentorship program, we did like a catch up with everyone. We checked in to collect also some feedback. And these two are actually still working together, even after the course of 6 weeks, on a bigger project where they're building like a big data solution for data warehouses in the US to be more sustainable. So I think this is like a really great connection. Both of them has expressed that they're super thankful for the connection because they would have not met. And this is what the mentorship really enables people to do, is to meet people that you would normally never probably encounter and to unlock opportunities. So we have decided to do the pairing manually. We first thought about doing it, with an AI or with a small recommendation, with a small algorithm, but we decided actually against it because we really believe that in the way we get these applications from the mentees and from the profile of the mentors, we can quite see who's a good fit. That is more where the humanized approach comes in. So we always want to pair technology as an enabling factor for humans to work together on something cool, but like the actual pairing we do manually. So I think this is like a really great example and shows the power of mentorship, the impact it can have in empowering individuals to pursue their dreams, but also to succeed in a chosen field and to get a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Thank you so much for sharing, Hannah. We absolutely love to hear all about the positive impact that you've been making. And again, the fact that you really take the time to humanize things. I feel like now more than ever, humanization is so, so important, especially as we said with the evolution of AI, how the world is becoming so much more digitalized.
Yeah, I think it also, as you say, like the humanization and like, using technology as a tool to help you solve big problems is at least like our mission on this, not to over engineer. I think that's really important. This is something we also showcase a lot in our podcast episode. For example, in like the last season 3, we had Eleanor Menley, who is the co-founder of Metaspace, and Metaspace is fighting misconduct in the workplace, again, like a human issue with tech. So they use artificial intelligence to screen through certain wordings in emails and conversations as well. Of course, they also have to then think about things like GDPR, data privacy, and so on. So it's very complex issues. But tech has there the potential to help fight misconduct in the workplace. And that is something, it's just like an inspiring story, I think, that can showcase how we can use the power of data and AI for a brighter future.
I'd love to know, really, for you, what makes your heart sing about working on BrainFruits?
Sometimes my heart does not sing at all about this. It's rather my brain is cooking, and I'm sometimes thinking like how to manage. But it becomes worth it when I can witness this transformation and growth of individuals who like go through our program or who reach out after they've listened to a podcast episode and tell me, "Hey, Hannah, this has really inspired me. I had no idea this is possible." So really seeing women like gain confidence, acquire new skills, secure their dream job, make a meaningful contribution to the tech industry is just incredibly fulfilling, I must say. So it comes all back, I think, to human nature. I think that innately as humans, we do want to help, we do want to collaborate. I'm very against this idea that humans only want to, compete in the Homo economicus. I think that's an idea that I just do not really feel aligned with. Let's put it that way. So of course, it's not all unicorns and pink dream rainbows. You need to really be able to push through sometimes. Also with an initiative like this, there is people that are opponents or whatever happens. It's not all easy, but really seeing the positive impact it can have on individuals' lives and people that really want to take it to have it as a leveraging effect for them for their own sake is great. So I think there's a lot of potential for the future that I see that we can help to unlock a bit this AI to become more diverse.
It can be challenging at times, right? Juggling many different plates, particularly if this is a real labor of love for you. But you always have that end goal in mind and think about the tangible impact that you're making. And it's a great way to keep you absolutely energized. What are you excited about for the future of Brain Fruits? What's upcoming?
I think especially after the test now of the mentorship program and the amazing positive feedback that we got, I am personally super hyped and excited to take this to another scale. So what I really think for the future is that we can have much more impact and reach. So we want to further strengthen our mentorship program, attract more talented mentors and mentees, and really scale it to support a larger number of individuals. And then we want to get more into our consultancy service to offering our innovative solutions for organizations that really want to go on this AI journey, help them with risk management and into innovation expertise. So I think key for us here is scale, further reach, and more impact. And in order for us to like unlock this, we are always happy to collaborate with like-minded partners and organizations because that can help us with a stronger network, stronger diversity in the end for the entire industry.
You said that you're always open as well to hear from individuals, organizations, for collaborations. So I want to ask you, Hannah, how can anybody who's watching or listening right now, whether they be an individual or an organization, how can they get involved with the wonderful work that you're doing and support BrainFruits?
First of all, really important for us is the community. We're always looking for volunteers that can help us with the marketing, with a networking event. If you have a great idea, especially for a networking event, please reach out. We would love to do more of those also in person. But at the moment, we just struggle a little bit with manpower. And then if you're in an organization, you think that your employees should benefit from a mentorship program, especially to go on an AI transformation journey, please send them our way. We're happy to take them into our next mentorship program. So it's really about volunteering, getting the community involved, and then for organizations to partnership with us to get the benefit of employees that are skilled in the use of AI, so innovation and risk management at the same time, but also learn more about the bias and how to implement it in nowadays organizations. So there's a lot I think that people can help with. Lastly, I'm always looking for podcast guests. So if you have someone that you think is super inspiring and you wish them to spread their word about their work, then reach out.
We are going to be sharing all of the relevant links in the description box below. So feel free to check everything out, reach out to Hannah directly, BrainFruits, get involved with what they're doing if you feel you can add value and you want to contribute to their exciting mission. Hannah, I'd love to know from your perspective also, what change do you want to see in the industry?
So, on a very high level, very simple, better decision making. I know this sounds a little like off the immediate topic, but that's the long term vision. I would like to see an industry where we're better at taking into account diverse skills, diverse opinions, diverse views on problems, because I firmly believe that that helps with better decision making or more balanced decision making. And I think that here, empowering women, underrepresented groups, and diverse voices, this can really drive innovation, foster ethical AI implementation, and create solutions that can really benefit society as a whole. So I really envision an industry where gender and diversity bias are just eliminated. I think it's just so nonsense, and where women just have equal opportunities. I think that's really important for me. I don't think that everyone is equal per se, but I think we can be much better in providing equal opportunities to succeed and lead. And this also goes into how algorithms are developed to be used for decisioning in organizations.
Better decision making, eliminating biases, enabling more equal opportunities. That is music to my ears, Hannah. Thank you so much for sharing. It's been so fun to shine the spotlight on the amazing things that you're doing at BrainFruits.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, Ellie, as always. I really love what you're doing with Equal IT. So amazing to have had you also in our mentorship program. Ellie was really great in helping our mentees in one of the Fem Forward sessions to gain insight into how to personally brand yourself in tech. And I, even now, frequently sometimes look at it because I think there is not enough branding that we can do for our own profiles, but also for ourselves. I think that is something we can all take away. So thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you, Ellie.